Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in this series of Java programs. In this video, we are going to calculate compound interest. So without much delay, let's get started. So let us quickly make a class. Let us give the name of the class as CI. If you've seen my previous video on simple interest, then you must have an idea as what will be the syntax for this program as well. So let me very quickly show you what was the program that we wrote for simple interest. So you can see here we have declared four variables, P for principal, T for time, and double R and SI. Now we will not be requiring SI in this case because we are going to calculate compound interest, but P, T and R will remain the same. So in order to save our time, let us quickly copy this entire thing down. Okay, so I've copied import java.util.scanner. Okay, this will remain same. We will have to change the name of the class CI. Okay, and we will remove this variable from here, CI. Okay, and the remaining thing will remain the same. We have to delete this formula. Okay, so as you can see, we have three variables, P, T and R, and this CI for compound interest. We are printing three messages: enter the principal amount, enter the rate of interest, and enter the time in years. And we are also accepting principal, rate and time from the console in these respective variables. Okay, now the only difference between simple interest and compound interest is the formula that we use for calculating the compound interest. Before we start calculating compound interest, there is another thing that we want to make sure before we start the calculation. You must have observed in questions related to compound interest that the compound interest are either calculated yearly, half yearly or quarterly. So in order to include that thing in our program, we will have to include one more variable. So let me declare one more variable as n. Okay, and I will print a message over here. Enter the type of compound interest, yearly, half yearly, quarterly, etc. And below here we will store that value. Okay, so we will input this value from the console itself. Now we will have to calculate the compound interest. So CI is equals to amount minus principal. We will require one more variable, that is the amount. Okay, so let us first calculate the amount. Now the calculation of amount could be a bit tricky because of the formula. So let me just show you the formula. You will see A equals to P into 1 plus R upon N raised to the power N into T. Okay, so imitating this formula or converting this formula into a Java expression could be a bit difficult for beginner. So in this program, or for this calculation of amount, I'm going to use a mathematical function, that is math.pow. So A equals P multiplied math.pow one plus R upon N multiplied 100 comma and multiply t semicolon. Okay, so 1 plus r upon n multiplied by 100 and then comma and then n into t. So what is the use of method power? So method power takes two values, okay, and these two values are separated by a comma, as you can see over here. So this first part is the first value till here, and then this is the second value. The first value is raised to a power which equals to the second value. Okay, so that means this thing 1 plus r upon n is my first value, and then second value is n into t, because I want to raise this expression to the power of this one. Okay, so that is what I've done here. Let me just run the program. Enter the amount. Let us take 1000. Enter. Let us take 5 as interest, 2 for time and yearly, half yearly or quarterly. So let us take 1 for yearly. Enter, and you will see the amount 102.5. Now there is one more thing to observe, that I've taken 1 as the value for this message, yearly, half yearly or quarterly. So if I want to calculate the compound interest which is calculated yearly, then I'll take 1 as value. If I want to calculate the same compound interest but it is calculated half yearly, the compound interest is calculated half yearly, then in that case I'll take 2 as the value. For quarterly I'll take 4, and then so on. Okay, so according to that, the number or the value of compound interest, or the amount first, could vary. Okay, so this was a very simple program. The only complex part was the calculation of amount. So we have to include this math.power function, because this is the only easiest way of calculating the amount. Okay, this could be a bit difficult for learning, because for somebody who has not used this function before, so how to set this entire thing. But if you use once, then it will be very easy for you to use this function in other programs as well. So this was all for this video. I hope you learn how to calculate compound interest using this mathematical function. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Burning